Do me a favor, babe. Let me know. I'm on now. Let me know if you can see me and everything. Hello, everybody. Paigey, come out here. We're watching. Okay. Well, we got Peppa Pig on. We're gonna do what? Okay. You go ahead and put Peppa Pig on the computer. Hi, everybody. It is Monday. It's what time is it? About 9:48, 9:49, something like that. Quick little update on this winter storm, this East Coast winter storm, which has taken what? What? You gonna come out? Which has taken a it has taken it. Today is Monday, all day. It's funny. We had a we're gonna talk about the East Coast winter storm. We've always maintained, well, I've always maintained it's a North Carolina to Southern New England threat. Um, the pieces to the puzzle, they all have to come together. Where they're going to have to come together. Things are starting to become a little more clear now. Most of the modeling is beginning to agree, and I'm going to show you that in a second. In the meantime, I wanted to show you. I'm actually under a blanket. You can't. I don't know if you can see that. I'm actually under a blanket right now. We had a cold front come through, and it's funny. It's not cold. What you guys are dealing with in the Mid Atlantic and the Northeast. It's not cold like that. But when you're used to temperatures in like the upper 70s to low to mid 80s for like the last 3 weeks, now all of a sudden we're in the I think we're right around 60 degrees right now, or up 50s, and you got a breeze blowing. It's a little chilly sitting back here. Okay. Um, so a couple things. Okay, good. Um, from last time, I know we had some issues with the slides. For some reason, you guys couldn't see the slides. So I'm going to pay more attention to what you guys are saying in the chat, okay, this time. And if hopefully, if for some reason you're not seeing the slides or you can't hear my voice or whatever, please let me know in the chat. I'll be able to read that comment, and then I'll start looking for ways to fix whatever's going on. Okay, well, let's do this. First up, how about we share the screen and we'll talk about some of the changes that took place. MJO, there it is, right there. Okay, for that, here we go. Hold on, let me go back. Okay, so for that, what you see here is the MJO. We've talked about this before. This is where one of the things that I do, one of the ways that I forecast is I think you guys know by now is I love explaining things. I love looking at the patterns. I love looking at how storms develop and how things evolve, over the span of 5 days or 7 days or whatever the case may be. Especially if they're going to be a major concern, a disruptive storm down the road, something that's impactful. And one of the things that I've always stressed is, what I was taught in college is you use the forecast cone. All right, you start aloft, and then you work your way down to the surface. And some of the I actually still have these in some of my college books and everything. It literally looks like a cone with how you look at the upper levels, middle levels, and then down to the surface. It's really neat. I'll have to share that with you guys sometime. But this right here, remember, this is in phase 8. You look at the red line right there, and phase 8 is the storm phase in January and February. Phase 8 puts up a lot of blocking to the north. Phase 8 digs. The pressures drop quickly and within a short period of time. A lot of times when a storm comes in on the East Coast. Okay, so during the month of January and February, you get into phase 8. That's a lookout. Okay, we got to watch things closely phase. One thing that I said from the beginning is if you follow the red line, the thing that I did not like was the way it's still in 8, but I didn't. You see that sharp drop? You're still in 8, but you go from a really strong phase 8 signal to now it's just sort of like a type phase 8 signal. You're in phase 8, but you're just barely in phase 8. And I'm going to show you what this is. I've read a couple of things. There's a lot of wonderful forecasters on Twitter Facebook that are from the National Weather Service, Storm Prediction Center, NSSL. And I've read a lot of what those forecasters have had to say. And I understand what they're saying. So I'm going to share some of that with you. And I'm also going to kind of show you what I think is going on here, too. So there's the MJO. Okay. Let's see. Tab. And I'm going to do this slow. Oh, where did I go? Okay. Can you guys just want to make sure you guys can still see that because I see it. Make sure you guys see it. Okay. Looks like you guys can, right? All right. So let me set this in motion then. And in the phase 8, you see that red towards the top near Greenland, dropping westward into, I think it's Baffin Bay and the northern Hudson Bay area. All what's considered higher heights or your block. You get that with the phase 8. The significance there is when low pressure, when you get a storm signal on the East Coast, a lot of times it can't escape out to sea because of that block. But watch what happened here. So this is interesting. I'm going to set it in motion. And so this is today. All right, that big storm. Actually, you guys are still getting the wind in the mid-Atlantic and the Northeast. That is the storm that came through Sunday. I know it brought a lot of rain. I know you guys still have some power outages out there. That is what you see here. The green, see it pulling away from Maine there and the East Coast. That's the storm that you guys had yesterday. Now, watch the blue here in the middle of the country. All right, this is the storm that's going to come through the mid-Atlantic as we get into Wednesday night and Thursday. Now, watch the also at the same time I'm setting this in motion. Watch the blue come across, but watch the red. What's the one thing you notice with the red? See what's happening? It's remember I showed you that sudden drop in phase 8 there. That block, it's there, but it's weakening dramatically, and it has shifted quite a bit to the west. Okay, and now at the same time, if you also go from that red blob to the lower left there, you see that little blue showing up in California and Oregon. So what's happening, because the block is weakening, the pattern is staying progressive. And now this little thing, believe it or not, this little thing here on the West Coast is actually going to act like a kicker and push this East Coast coastal storm Wednesday night and Thursday out to sea as opposed to up. Watch. See it? And now it really can't. See how it just goes right off? Notice that red blob, it just vanishes. And what I think is going on, in my opinion, is this right here. I think it crashes so significantly, and I think that's what you're seeing in the upper levels. Okay, so let's go over to one of. Okay, I'm just going to pause with each one because I want to make sure these show up. I just don't want to happen yesterday. Remember, the other thing that we've been talking about since Friday is all of the pieces to the puzzle have to come together, and they were. But watch this. Okay, so here comes. See all of this, these little twists and turns, if you will, these little reds showing up. All right, let me go back real quick. Look towards the bottom of your screen. That is now Gulf of America. I'm not even sure what we call it anymore. But that is now the coast. If you look towards the top there, that is the upper level, just that, the upper level energy. Remember, everything had to come together. Now watch what happens. All right, now you see, now look towards the left. You see that thing that I was talking about on the West Coast? So now what's happening is the block is weakening to the top, which means if you look towards the lower right, towards Florida, low is not slowing down and waiting up for the upper level energy that's close to Chicago there. And all of it is now being kicked off the coast by this thing on the West Coast. See it? And then by the time it does phase and come together, now it's off the coast, off the East Coast. And that's it. That's the difference right there. So let's go over the maps and let me show you accumulations and everything now that I've kind of, hopefully you guys get an understanding, a better understanding of what's going on. Okay. Just going to double check, make sure you see this. Okay. So far, I don't see anything. By the way, I meant to do one of these videos last night around 7:30, 8 o'clock. And me, Paigey, and Lori went out for like a Valentine's Day dinner Where did we went to downtown Stewart. Um, Darn, I forget the name of the place we went. Really good place though. Steakhouse had seafood. Um, the name escapes me, but anyway, the food was really good, and I had too many chocolate martinis, so I wasn't able. I wasn't able to do one of these videos. Okay, so all right, here's a look. Let's set it in motion for you. What I want you to watch the low. Okay, see it down to the bottom of your screen here. Now, the blue to the top, that's the upper level piece of energy. Remember, the two were going to come together off the coast. Now, see the low? Everything's being pushed off the coast. See it? By the time it comes together, now it's too late. It's too far off the coast. The Arctic is attacking from the west. The block to the north is weakened, so it doesn't slow that surface slow down, and the upper level piece of energy can't catch up to it. All right, that's pretty much what happened right there. Let's go over to all right. Gas guidance is suggesting here. So this is the European model, and the European is now showing this. Here it comes. Oh, look towards the bottom of your screen. Look how far south this is now. Again, there's nothing to slow this thing down anymore and turn it up the coast. Blue is snow, green is rain. That pink is wintry mix, freezing rain, and then the orange is sleet. Look where it's at. Now, notice the low. All right, now it's a couple hundred miles off the coast of North Carolina. Everything's being kicked as opposed to being allowed to come up. And now this, see the upper, do you see that little thing of blue west of New Jersey there? That's the upper level low. It doesn't really catch up. It's catching up now. But look where the surface low is. It's about 400 or 500 miles off the coast now. And that's all because of the block. The block weakening, the energy to the west kicking it as now. Look at the difference. Now watch this. I'm going to show you how this has evolved over the last, I believe it's 48 hours. So watch this. All right. Uh-oh. What did I do? Okay. So this is the current run. It has a little bit of light snow in the Philadelphia area, a little bit of light snow in the New York City area, a little bit of light snow in the DC area, a little bit of light snow in the Baltimore area. It still has the thump. It still has the 10 to 15 inches of snow, but now it's southern Delmarva, extreme southeast Virginia, and northern North Carolina, of all places. That's how far south this thing dropped. So watch this. This is the latest. Here is the run prior. See that? Here was the run prior to that. See that? Here was the run prior to that. See that? And here was the run prior to that. That's 5 runs, and you can see the adjustments that the modeling has made. So we went from that 5 runs ago to that. And again, it's simply because, like we talked about from the beginning, this was going to be an East Coast snow threat from the Carolinas up to New England. Where does everything come together? And now, because that block is weakening so much, and there's so much energy coming on the West Coast, the pattern is becoming more zonal progressive than anything else. And everything will come together, but it's coming together too far off the coast. And so, I haven't been up in New Jersey ever since Christmas. So obviously you guys are getting a winter up there. I see with what the computer data shows me and everything, but I don't know exactly what you guys are going through. I read comments, and it sounds to me like you guys to the Northwest have been ripped off time and time and time again from these storms. And this is going to be another situation where it's a big storm. It's going to be a big storm, just not for New York, not for Boston, not for the major cities. It's going to be a lot farther to the south now, and it just looks like that's how things are going this year. You guys, now I don't look at the GFS very often, but if you do remember, the GFS was the one that actually, because remember I told you I don't look at it very often because the model makes a lot of mistakes, but every now and then it scores a victory. You're saying I'm hearing things that's saying I'm kind of breaking up. All right, I'll just keep talking. Let me know if you guys can still hear me. But anyway, so the GFS every now and then scores a victory. The GFS was the one that actually showed the southern shift first. So let's see what it's showing real quick, and we'll set it in motion for you. And here it comes. All right, so now we're Wednesday afternoon. It's a lot of snow, but it's just south. It's south of Philadelphia. It's south of Atlantic City. It's south of Wilmington. It's south of D.C. It's south of Baltimore. Salisbury, Maryland's going to get a good hit. Southern Delmarva, Virginia. Okay, and then this model, here's the upper level. It shows the same thing. The upper level piece of energy holds back. And then GFS shows. Okay, so they're all the models, all the global. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Gail. I'm reading you guys' comments saying no, I'm good. Okay, so I'm not really breaking up. Okay, we live on. I don't know if you guys can see, but there's a major road over there. So anytime an ambulance or anything comes through, I can hear it pretty loud. Okay, so this is what it had, and look, I'll do the same thing with. All right, we'll go back. Here's the current run prior. Okay. The run prior to that. So it has maintained, if anything, this one, if I'm going to do a scorecard, because I like to do a scorecard after every storm. If I'm going to do a scorecard, now, look, today's Monday. This is a Wednesday night, Thursday storm. We'll see what happens. I'm going to keep doing these updates every day until we get to Thursday. But if the storm were to play out the way the modeling is showing now, the GFS had the right idea all along. So, like I said, every now and then it does score a victory. Here's a look. This is the high resolution NAM, North American mesoscale. This is 3 kilometers. It's very high resolution. So, and again, look, it only goes out to about 5 o'clock in the afternoon on Wednesday. It's not quite within range yet, but it's showing. The reason I'm showing this is because it's showing the same thing that the European and the GFS are showing. Okay. And that is, it looks like it's going to be well south of New York. Well, yes. You need what? Okay. Do we still have to watch Peppa? Is it okay if we turn Peppa Pig off? You got it on in here. I kind of want. This is my life every morning now, right here, guys. Oh my gosh, I am a Peppa Pig. First, it was Miss Rachel, and then it was, what was the other one? Coco Melon, and now it's Peppa. No, it was Coco Melon first. Then it was Miss Rachel, and now it's Peppa Pig. And then there's some other one that we're watching all of a sudden now. I mean, the hits just keep coming. I no longer own the TV. I can never watch what I want. Although I did watch the Super Bowl. I watched that butt kicking the Eagles put on Kansas City. But, that was like the only time I was able to watch something. Okay. So that's it. That's in short what's going on now. And so, remember what from the very beginning. And this is how I like to forecast. Okay. Now that I'm in Florida, I'm able to, I'm no longer tied down to the Philadelphia area. So now I like to kind of expand and track storms as they travel across the country. Okay. So this is a major storm. It's going to be a major storm for areas south of Philadelphia. It's going to be the Carolinas, North Carolina, Southeast Virginia, Southern Delmarva. There is still time for this to lift a little bit farther to the north. Maybe we can get some good snow into Cape May. Maybe we can get some decent snow into Dover and Sussex counties, and Sussex County in Delaware. But for all my friends in the Philadelphia area, at the moment, this is looking like a storm that is going to pass you guys by to the south. You'll probably get a little bit of light snow out of it, but I don't see a major accumulation out of it. We'll do another one of these tomorrow. And I'll make another post on Facebook to kind of keep you guys in the loop as to what's going on. There's still the potential that there could end up being some blizzard conditions temporarily in coastal areas of southeastern Virginia and northern North Carolina. Now, the upper level low would have to catch up to the surface low a little quicker, which is not being shown right now on the models, but it's not out of the question completely just yet. Again, we'll just kind of wait and see how everything evolves. Okay. Well, if you haven't already done so, please hit the subscribe button. I'm going to share this on my Facebook page. You guys have a good day. I will make some more posts on Facebook later this afternoon. In the meantime, I'm going to stay under my blanket, and I guess I'm going to watch more Peppa Pig. You guys take care. Okay? Bye-bye.